It's time for Blitz on Windstream Channel 4. I'm Brian Carter. Today's show features highlights, interviews, the player of the week, and much more in the next half hour or so. But first, I'm on site at White County High School with head basketball coach Mark Carroll. Coach, thank you for taking some time out to talk with us about your Warriors team.
I'm glad to. I'm ready to talk to you about them anytime.
Now, Coach, you're having a good season so far. You're 9-7 on the year. Your region record is 4-2 and 7 AAA. Talk a little about the guys that you have on the Warriors team this year.
We're playing real well right now. We've got most of our players back from last year. We're led, I guess, our two leading scorers, rebounders, are our two juniors. Luke Crumley, who's about a 6'5" post player. Ashley Lowry is a 6'3" wing player. And they're surrounded by a good group of role players that come in. We have two seniors on the team, Tyler Dotson and Luke Fincher. Our sophomore point guard is Andrew London. We have a pair of brothers, Cole Seagraves and Cam Seagraves, come off the bench. So we really have a good, solid nucleus with some good players around them, and it's been a fun group to coach.
Now, 7 AAA is always a stiff competition in that region, but White County is making a claim and can be a serious contender for the region title this year. As we mentioned, you're 4-2 in region play. How do you view White County measuring up with the other teams in the region?
Well, I know there's some really good teams in the region, especially on the other side. Gainesville, East Hall, Flowery Branch, Johnson are so strong. North Hall's strong on our side, but we've really been playing well lately. We're in second place on our side, and we feel like we can compete with all the teams. When we're together and we play and we're focused mentally, I believe we're right in there with the rest of them.
Now, a lot of your losses, I think you've had 4 losses this season by a combined 16 points. And
right.
There's really not been a team that's really dominated you except North Hall kind of piled on some points against you. But even you lost the game to Chestatee by just 2 points. So what was the difference in those games and the one against North Hall?
Well, North Hall just jumped on us from the beginning, and we weren't – I don't think we were ready for the quickness of the pace of the game. They jumped on us and put us on the defensive the whole time. And they just played great that night, and hopefully next time we can play them a little better. But I think one big key for us in this last 3 weeks has been the fact that once we got our guys back from Christmas, we gave them a week off, and we have so many players that played football this year that they got a little rest, and since that rest in January started, we're playing a lot better.
Now, Coach, I just learned upon walking in the school that you recently got to 300 wins in your coaching career. Talk a little about that experience and getting your 300th win.
Well, it was a nice accomplishment and something I'm proud of. I tell everybody it just means you've been coaching a long time, but you have I've had a lot of good players along the way, good assistant coaches, and everywhere we've tried to really progress our programs and at all the schools I've been at, and I've been doing it for a while. But it was nice to get 300, and a nice milestone.
Now, earlier you mentioned having 2 seniors in Luke Fincher and Tyler Dotson, and Tyler also one of those football players you were talking about. What do those 2 seniors bring to the table this year?
Well, Tyler Dotson's a really great three-point shooter. The other night against West Forsyth, he hit 5 3-pointers, and lately, we've been finding that teams are collapsing in on Luke and Ashley a lot, and we've really needed somebody on the perimeter to kind of open up the inside. And he came out and hit 4 threes in the first half, and that was key because then they had to stretch their defense out a little bit, and then we were able to score inside. So Tyler's been a key that way. Luke Fincher is just the kind of he's just a hard-working player that does all the dirty work. I mean, he's on the ball, on the floor, getting all the loose balls. He scrambles for rebounds. He gets our toughest defensive assignment. He's one of those players that does a lot of the intangibles. You don't notice him too much in the statistics, but we wouldn't be where we are without him. So our 2 seniors, even though they're not the most statistical leaders for us, really are our emotional leaders.
Now, your 2 statistical leaders, as you mentioned earlier, Luke Crumley and Ashley Lowry. Any coach in your position has to be excited about bringing back them for being 4th-year starters next year. How important is this year's success to next year's team?
It'll be big. I know last year, we probably started 4 sophomores most of the year, and and we paid our dues. People took advantage of it, and this year we've grown up a little bit, and Luke and Ashley have stepped up, and they're really playing well. And just having the two of them back again next year, we feel like we can take our program to one step up and to a higher level, and set us up for region again next year.
Now, it's been a few years since the Warriors have had a winning season back in 06 and 07. What is this team that already has 9 wins and should be a winning team by the end of the season? Mm-hmm. How does it compare to the team in 06 and 07?
I think that team was more. We were a better offensive team that year. We had 3 really good players back then: Dustin Anderson, Tyler Norman. Well, I'm not going to say 3. We had more than that. Quint Moss was good. Adrian Hamilton. I think we were better offensively a few years ago. I think this group's a better defensive team. We rebound much better, and we defend a lot better. And when we do those 2 things, we're pretty good.
Now, Coach, you're fortunate enough to close out the season with Gilmer and Lumpkin here on your home court prior to the 7 AAA tournament. What do you hope to accomplish as a team down the stretch in preparation for that tournament?
Well, hopefully we'll still be playing well, and that'll just carry us momentum-wise into the tournament. If we have a few stumbles before then, we like to think that we got two home games on our court and can get our momentum back. But we'll look at those 2 games as preparation for the tournament and just kind of carrying us into that with some momentum.
All right, Coach Carroll, thank you again for your time here on Blitz today, and congratulations on getting your 300 wins.
I appreciate it, Brian.
All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back in just a few seconds, we're going to spend time with junior Luke Crumley.